Through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your consumer advocate, helping you understand your buying decisions and making you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you may need it. 813-750-0550 is the hotline.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
And we love it when the hotline rings. That means that we're helping people with these daily decisions. They're looking for a good attorney. They're looking for a CPA, home services. They want to be connected to a lender to get pre-approved. Lots of ways we can help you here on the show. You got to save our hotline, though, 813-750-0550. Also, check out our website, consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors, videos of previous shows, and also submit a form, an email form, where we'll get in contact with you to help you understand your buying decisions and make you more street smart, as we say. And owner of the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, a couple of hot listings here. I'd like to let you know about a new penthouse that we just listed on the beach, $2 million listing here, 1200 Gulf Boulevard, number 1805. This is over in Clearwater Beach, Sand Key. Great opportunity to own real estate right here in Tampa Bay, right across from the Marriott on Sand Key there. 1200 Gulf Boulevard. You got a penthouse, almost 4,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms, suites with an office and a den, plus the balconies and the terraces to overlook the intercoastal waterways and the dolphin-filled waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Great opportunity to own that executive-style property right here in Tampa Bay. Also, let's talk about a vacant lot available in South Tampa, 202 Southwest Shore Boulevard. This is a lot that's available in South Tampa, 1 block south of Kennedy, right off of West Shore, 202 Southwest Shore Boulevard. Build your dream home or potentially maybe make an office there. It's just in a great location, that West Shore Business District. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, give a quick shout out to our sponsors as well, Veteran Gutters. Quick shout out to Brandon Porter and his team at Veteran Gutters. It's an American-made product. Veteran Gutters, if you're looking to add gutters onto your home, it's going to help your roof system. It's going to help your flower beds not get flooded, especially with the rainy season coming up. Reach out to another one of our local area business owners right here. Support the local economy in Tampa Bay. Veteran Gutters. Brandon Porter and his team do a great job. I can tell you from firsthand experience, they did a great job on my home. All right, let's jump right into it. We got a great lineup for you today and a new expert contributor making her debut. We got another attorney on the team here, Karmika Rubin. Welcome in.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here and to be a part of this awesome show.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to having you. Law offices of KV Rubin, PA, rubinslaw.com, the website. And I'm looking at your brochure. What an awesome brochure. And it kind of gives an outline of the different areas. So business law, contracts, church law. That's a new one I haven't heard, church law.
Oh, yeah. Church law is really interesting within itself. People don't think that, a church is an actual business. It's a not-for-profit organization that has to abide by the laws of the land as well.
Interesting. Yeah, I know this year with COVID and, the lockdown, some of the pastors in different churches were getting locked up. And, that's from a government perspective, though, maybe a little bit outside of your scope. But, in California, they were fining these pastors and preachers and saying, nope, you can't open up. Well, they're open up voluntary to people voluntarily come. It's not like they're saying you have to come to the church service, right?
Yeah, it was so interesting because the dynamics, you're accustomed to one, form of worship, and you're thinking, do I have to abide by the mandate that's put in place, or can I just take ownership of my congregation? But your congregation has to also congregate with the rest of society. So it was a very sticky situation.
Yep.
I'm glad that we've moved past that particular point.
Yeah.
But there is another issue that may be on the arise with, our governor in the state of Florida.
Yep.
With you don't need a mask. So it'll be interesting to see how many churches will open up more widely.
Yeah.
And how many will remain via stream through Zoom or other online platforms.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like the one I go to that gives you the option. They've got both options now, and if you don't feel comfortable, you don't go. Similar. That's my opinion on the mask. If you wear the mask, fine, that's great. If you don't want to wear the mask, I get it. Real estate law, foreclosures, family law, estate planning. So you cover a full gamut of a lot of different areas. What do you see happening right now with COVID and courts opening back up?
That's very interesting because with the pandemic, there was a lot of shifts and changes, especially with the court system. Some people thought that, oh my gosh, with the pandemic, courts are closed. No, courts were open. They remain open. They just said instead of meeting in person, we'll meet via Zoom, via telephone. And so most judges, civil judges, they actually like Zoom. Yeah. They like the telephone. You're more productive. You can get the attorneys in and out, the client matters in and out. Most hearings are maybe 1 minute to 5 minutes, and you travel so far.
Wow.
The most that we saw as far as increases during the pandemic were domestic violence, unfortunately. People had to stay home together a lot longer than they normally would.
Yeah.
And you were really challenged. I really like you that much.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, they said for good or worse or better for worse, right? And
that's right.
That's part of the worst right there.
Exactly.
Going through a pandemic and stuck in this, and we were just talking about it, real estate side too. People that live in a condo. If you're in an 800 square foot condo versus a single family home with an acre of land, wow, you're really compressed, and it's kind of a, to me, it's an unnatural way to live. Just being in that position.
It's extremely unnatural. One of the things I like to share with people, just kind of getting back to how we help people. I like to say we help families stay together or not stay together, right? And that's where some of the domestic violence and divorce, simple divorce, contested, uncontested, and then I like to say we help families with their real estate, like in the land that you spoke of earlier. We like to help you with your quitclaim deeds, your foreclosure defenses, and then a lot of families also have businesses. So we like to help families with their business issues, whether you're in agreement, not in agreement, whether you want to go through litigation or not go through litigation. But we're really here to help the overall family move forward.
Let me ask you a question, too, because a lot of times when it comes to businesses and business law, and I know I even made some mistakes early in my career. A lot of people have, right? I'm man enough to admit it. When you go into a new business with someone and you're bringing on a partner, how do you avoid, or what are some of the tips that you learned over the years is how to avoid that area of disagreement, or because it's almost like a prenuptial agreement, right? You hear some people, especially the wealthy, say, "Oh, well, hey, if we get into a situation, this is our pre-agreement." You almost have to have something similar in a business relationship, and of course, you have your operating agreement, etc. But you've really got to think about those different contingencies that happen or could happen.
Exactly, you're right on point, and we call it a partnership agreement. If you're incorporated, it could be also a shareholders agreement, but it is so vital to get clarity on what we would do when we no longer agree.
Right.
This is the best time to do any form of a contract is when you like each other. Even with the prenup, you mentioned a prenup, and I like that. I'm going to use that, prenup for businesses.
Yeah.
Because when you like each other, it's all roses, it's peaches and cream.
Exactly.
But when you no longer like each other, you're out to kill, and it's like,
Yeah, you flip the switch, all of a sudden it's like the Terminator or something coming at you.
Exactly. Another thing that's covered is what happens when your partner or one of your investors passes away.
Yeah.
And we did a contract for someone, a partnership agreement, and that's exactly what happened. They didn't want an extensive 12-page contract, which I love complexity. I love the long pages. They said, give me something sweet and simple. So I gave a 6-page contract, right? I know contract sounds boring, but when you have something arise, that's the document you're going to come back to.
Yeah.
And 6 months later, that partner passed away. And the first question was, what do we do?
Yeah.
I don't want their family to come and partner in my business that I started.
Exactly.
Go back to the contract.
There you go. We planned for that. We were thoughtful. We thought about that. It's interesting. One of the favorite things that I talk about when I do public speaking is one of my favorite stories is Dr. Edward Banfield of Harvard. He conducted a study into what makes most people successful. Why do some people move to the United States or other countries and become successful and some people don't? But the number one determining factor, it was like a 40 or 50 year study, was long time perspective. So in other words, how far in the future are you thinking about before you make that decision? And if we look at some of the mistakes we made in life, it was a rash decision. It was a fast decision. And normally slow thinking is better than fast thinking.
Exactly. You have to literally plan out every step. And what is the saying? If you plan to fail or you fail to plan.
Fail to plan. That's right.
Yeah. When you are planning out, you do need to set small-term goals, long-term goals. No one really anticipated the pandemic.
Right.
However, although you're planning, you have to also be flexible to adjust to change.
Yeah.
And there are some businesses who were able to adjust and still flourish even during a pandemic, and others, they were really, really hit hard. So now you have to go back to your plan and say, what do we do now?
Yeah,
what
exactly.
is our aim?
Yeah, setting the goals are always great. Adjusting the goals, of course, that's an option. And then if you're a restaurant owner, for example, okay, great, let's set up outside seating.
Exactly.
How can we pivot? Because there's always going to be that black swan, they call it. Those are those unforeseen events, the 9/11, the pandemic, the Y2K in some sense. But there's things that are always going to be unforeseen that you can't plan for because it's just never happened before, or it's outside of that scope of what most a normal person might think could happen.
Exactly. I would challenge business owners to remain creative.
Yeah.
When you first start your business, you have a vision, you know how it should look, but you should always keep your business fresh, remain current, be trendy, be flexible to change, but that creative piece should never get stale.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you do, you die. You go away. You end up being a Blockbuster versus a Netflix.
Slowly disappear.
Yeah, that's right. And if you just joined us, we're talking with Karmika Rubin here, law offices of KV Rubin, PA, rubinslaw.com here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, one of our legal analysts on the Consumer Quarterback Show, business law, contracts, real estate law, foreclosures. I want to talk about some of the foreclosures. What are you seeing in that space? Because there's been these moratoriums, of course. The landowners, and I feel bad for the landowners, I feel bad for the renters, the tenants, because, it's such a catch-22 there. We had a pandemic, people got laid off from jobs, but some of these landowners are, mom and pop type landowners. They only have one or two retirement. That's how they make their money. So then they can't pay their mortgage. I mean, you look at the snowball effect and how that can play out. What are you seeing in that space?
Yeah. There was just something in the news yesterday, I believe, where there was a ruling where it was stated that it should not have been put in place. So that's going to be interesting to see how we're going to backtrack those people who were allowed to remain in the home. But the trick that I would tell people is, although you are there and you're not paying your rent or you're not paying your mortgage, it doesn't mean you still don't owe that particular homeowner or landowner. It is just accumulating.
Right.
So even though you're like, oh, you can't evict me, you can't foreclose or sell my home, it doesn't mean it's not coming. We just talked about preparation. Prepare so that when it does happen, you'll know what your option is, whether you will stay there or whether you will have to leave. But the biggest other thing I want to add on, when it came to mortgages, it was federally backed mortgages. So you have to be careful and know who is backing your mortgage.
Yeah.
And then even for those who were renting, it may not apply to everyone in every eviction scenario.
Yeah.
So there were still some different types of claims moving forward, like commercial evictions. They didn't stop.
Yeah, you got to be careful. And the best thing to do is have an open line of communication with your landlord or with your bank or the mortgage servicer, whoever's servicing that loan. Because as Karmika mentioned, if it's a Freddie Mac loan, if it's a Fannie Mae loan, that's going to be a little bit different. There's going to be different types of, paybacks, the moratoriums. Those rules are going to change, whether it's a private lender, because a lot of people don't realize these mortgages are backed as mortgage-backed securities, and then they're sold on the secondary market. So depending on who underwrites that loan, who buys that loan, there's going to be a set of rules in place. And it's an interesting place. Are you seeing foreclosures coming back?
They are. They never cease, but there was a slow. And I'm excited to come back because we can really dive into it even more.
Yeah.
But there were less foreclosure cases in 2020. However, they are slowly coming back.
Yeah.
So I hate to say the trend,
Yeah.
but it is coming back. And then they also put different things in place now to make it more challenging for plaintiffs or lenders to bring forth the foreclosure lawsuit. But they're on a slight rise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a voicemail from a gentleman in New York the other day. He must have listened to our show on, iHeartRadio app, or somehow he found us online and was talking. He was listening to our YouTube channel, actually. We've got 1,200 videos on YouTube now over the last 8 years doing this show. But it was interesting. He was very upset. He said his tenant owes him $36,000. She's not even answering my phone calls. There's no response from her. What can you do? He asked me for help. I said, first thing I said, well, did you talk to your attorney? What did your attorney say?
Yeah.
So.
And and that's so much of a good point, because when you have these situations, it is good to seek legal counsel.
Yeah.
So that when you do file a particular complaint, you're filing the appropriate complaint. You're putting in the right allegations. You're making sure that all of what is needed to be covered procedurally and legally that is there. And if they owe that much money, I always start with the lease. What does your contract say?
Yeah.
But it can be tricky. Definitely contact an attorney, get some legal guidance, and then be careful, because I've been in some very sticky situations where it seemed simple and it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. There's always more that meets the eye in a lot of cases when you look at that, and there's so many challenges, especially with law and how you can fight back against that. And then COVID-19 coming into play is going to challenge it in a lot of different ways. And it's a lot of area to cover. So definitely looking forward to having you back on. What's the call to action? How do you want people to contact you on your website, or do you maybe visit your Facebook page as well?
I would say definitely the website. We have a contact page, and the website again is www.rubinslaw.com. They can always call the law office at 727-512-8261, and definitely visit us on our Facebook page, which is the Law Offices of KV Rubin, PA, where we are here to fight with you.
I like it.
Action.
And Rubin's is spelled RUBINS law.com, just for those out there, RUBINS law.com. All right, Karmika, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Great stuff. Good to hear from you. And coming up, William Crowley. We're going to talk with William. He's the credit expert. He's the credit magician here in Tampa Bay. And he's going to talk to you about some of the different ways that you can use the Fair Credit Reporting Act and different procedural grounds to clean your credit up, improve your credit scores, and raise your credit score is his .com, raiseYourScore.com. William Crowley coming up. Also later in the show, Jay Smith, a Snoop inspection, going to be on as well. We haven't heard from Jay in a while, but he's going to give us some insights from a home inspector's point of view into this hot real estate market here in Tampa Bay. Plus, feel-good story of the day. Good Samaritan jumps into bay to save 2-year-old after car crash on bridge. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
My friends, when choosing a listing agent to sell your home, their track record is critically important. Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Real Estate. They're consistently rated by the MLS in the top 1% of all Tampa Bay realtors, and that's a big deal. Brandon and Lindsay are always among the top realtors in the state. Call them today at 813-750-0550.
Find them at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
My name is James DeJerome, and I produce the Consumer Quarterback Show for Brandon Rhymes. The Consumer Quarterback Show is a team, a group of like-minded professionals who partner together to provide our audience sound advice, knowledge, and information to make them wiser consumers. We work with all types of business owners and aggressively promote our local economy. We're currently conducting interviews for our expert contributors. If you own a business or know someone who would benefit from the exposure our show provides, please contact us at 813-750-0550 or online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals if you're buying, selling, or investing. Got a couple of hot opportunities in the business space. 5402 U.S. Highway 92. This is a bar for sale that I've got out in Plant City. This is a hot listing, corner lot location, $795,000. Great opportunity. Now, this business has a 4 COP liquor license. So these are very expensive, very in demand, and you could sell package as well out the drive-through. So 5402 U.S. Highway 92 in Plant City, centrally located, great opportunity, and the cash flow is very strong, $12,000 to $14,000 a week being made on this bar location, listing from the Platinum MVP team. Keller Williams Realty. Also, sticking with the commercial theme, 1602 East MLK. You've got a body shop for sale right here in Tampa Bay. Gill's Body Shop is for sale. We're doing a price reduction on it today. 1602 East MLK. 45-year-old business, turnkey operation, reputable auto body and repair shop right here in Tampa Bay. Available. Great opportunities. You can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. KW.com. All right, quick shout out to the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Bilmar Beach Resort right here in Tampa Bay, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Say hello to Clyde Smith. He's the general manager. Let him know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take him up for special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Bilmar Beach Resort, Treasure Island, Florida. Longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, my friend William Crowley's back in studio. Hey, William, what's happening?
What's up, buddy? What's up? Good to be back in studio.
The credit man in studio. I know he's been on the phones for so long. I forgot what you look like, man. I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot they had the phony coronavirus out there.
The phony corona. That's right. The phony corona. It was interesting to see though. Pinellas County just lifted that mandate. That's awesome.
Yes, we did.
That's great.
And I'm so glad I can go see my clients in person now.
Yeah, exactly.
And clean their credit up.
That's right. So cleaning up credit. Talk to me about cleaning up credit. What's happening in that space?
Well, there's a lot. Of course, as I've talked over the last couple of months about this new credit reporting agency that they want to form, which to me is just a pure farce, okay? Whether the credit reporting agencies are violating people's rights along the way, and a new one's going to do the same thing as the old one does. What I would recommend to the to your president,
my president, not mine.
No, but what I would recommend is that we just go back to the law. Like you just had Attorney Rubin on talking specifically about the law and some of the things that she practices. And I'm not an attorney, but I'm definitely a proponent of the law. So I tell people, with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, why don't we just have, instead of creating a new credit reporting agency, why don't we just enforce the laws that already exist? The Fair Credit Reporting Act was created by Congress in 1970. The Fair Debt Collection Practices Act was created by Congress in 1976, around the time. Uniform Commercial Code has been here forever. And the Uniform Commercial Code specifically identifies debt in its real nature or its unreal nature, okay? And I put that in our credit restoration program just to show people, look, here's what true credit repair is about, and this will ultimately negate the existence of either this new credit reporting agency that they're trying to form, or stabilize the current credit reporting agencies. So the Fair Credit Reporting Act says this: any information. Oh, hear music.
We're coming in. We're coming into the break.
Okay.
So
you surprised me.
That's a short segment. I know we got to go. When we come back, we're going to dive deeper in what's actually in the Fair Credit Reporting Act and how William Crowley can help you. RaiseYourScore.com. RaiseYourScore.com. William Crowley. Also, more from attorney Karmika Rubin here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stay with us. Don't touch the dial. And we'll be right back after this short break.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Johnny, let me know when you want to proceed, please. We're ready to go? Okay, everybody, please stand by.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And we're actually hiring right now. We're looking for a couple of positions in the office. We're growing. We've got lots of leads coming in. The business has been going great. So if you know of anybody out there, please refer them. We're looking for great people to join our team at Keller Williams Realty. And you can check out our website at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, I got some hot listings here in Tampa Bay as well. 801 East Palm Avenue, and you also have a sister property right next door, 803 East Palm Avenue. Great opportunity to own an investment property. They're $750,000 each, right here in Tampa Bay, close to Ybor City, close to downtown. These are investment opportunities of a cash flow. There's cash coming in. You've got hostel and also short-term rentals on this property. The owner says it's kicking out a lot of cash. Great opportunity. Also, 1905 North Taliaferro is another property right behind these homes as well. So 5,600 plus square feet investment opportunity, minutes to downtown, and it's zoned for urban mixed use. And it's in an income opportunity and a opportunity zone. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Discovery Golf Cars as well. Shout out to Discovery Golf Cars, a.k.a. Golf Cart Depot, for recreation and business. Seems like everyone's getting a golf car these days. They're so much fun. Lots of makes and models. They own or they operate a Easy Go, Star EV, Cushman, new and pre-owned, available, rent or buy. They offer financing and mobile repair, Tampa and Clearwater locations. Check them out. DiscoveryGolfCars.com. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent ya. All right, in studio, we got our friend William Crowley in the house. Credit Restoration.
Now, I'm the credit man, credit magician on the radio. What am I in the hood?
The credit man in the hood.
Credit man in the hood, baby. Hey, listen, I want to make a correction. I probably gave you the wrong email. It's raiseourscore.com, not raiseyourscore.com.
Okay,
so,
raiseourscore.com.
Raiseourscore.com, yeah. I want to make sure people come to me instead of the raiseyourscore.com.
Yeah, whoever those people are.
That's right.
You might want to buy that URL now.
Yeah, I know.
Point it to the same place.
So we got time now. I can relax now, huh?
There you go. You got a little more time.
Okay.
You're still on the clock, though.
All right. So listen, there's a huge misconception about credit repair out there. A lot of people say it's a scam, just like with anything else. They think it's a scam.
Why do they say that? Why? Because they got ripped off. They gave somebody money. They didn't do what they're over-promised, under-delivered.
Right. Now, I offer a money-back guarantee with my service, but there's conditions attached to that money-back guarantee. I mean, if you follow what I tell you and nothing happens, then, of course, we'll give you money back. Okay? Right. I call it a realistic money-back guarantee, which the majority of the credit repair companies don't give a money-back guarantee. And so that's where the connection with the scam comes in. But even more important than that, the real scam is what the credit reporting agencies are doing to people's credit reports, okay? We're just trying to help people overcome the violations that the credit reporting agencies are committing. That's the real problem. The credit reporting agencies are putting information on people's credit reports. They have not verified anything. I heard you and Attorney Rubin talking about mortgages or the foreclosures.
Yes.
I think y'all were talking about that.
Yep.
But foreclosures, tax liens, bankruptcies, judgments, etc. This information is being put on the client's credit report in violation of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. The Fair Credit Reporting Act simply states this: if you're going to put something that a client did, which most of my clients have committed these particular acts, bankruptcies, tax liens, late payments, collections, etc. But the point is that when the credit reporting agency, which is a third party, receives the information, they must in turn contact the consumer or verify the information is true and correct. They're not doing any of that. They're just taking information from the lenders and throwing it on the credit report. So when clients come to me, they say, well, how do you get this information off. I did do it. I said, I know everything that on that credit report does belong to you. Now, if you're a victim of identity theft, then file a police report and you can have it removed that away. But I want the clients that the information does in fact belong to, and I'm going to show you, look, yes, you did commit these acts, but there's some leverage in the Fair Credit Reporting Act that could possibly get some or the majority, if not all, of this information legally removed because of a technicality, which is due process.
Right.
Attorney Rubin, you hear that?
Yes, sir, I do hear that
Due
loud
process.
and clear.
Is it true? Is it true what I'm saying, honey?
Due process.
It is absolutely true.
Right. And me and Attorney Rubin have worked together for years. Her being a real estate attorney as well, and then so she sends me a lot of clients. But I try to get over to people. Look, I'm not an attorney like Attorney Rubin, but at the same time, I do like to go abide by the law. And a lot of credit repair companies try to use shortcuts. They try to do a CPN number. They try to file a phony police report. They do all kind of creative stuff. And I say, why don't we just use the Fair Credit Reporting Act? This is information that's concrete, that's legal, and let's use that to get the information off the credit report. Plus, I'm on the radio with you, so I don't want to start giving out any bogus information about the credit reports. So let's use the Fair Credit Reporting Act, been created by Congress in 1970.
Yeah.
It goes after the credit reporting agencies for violation of due process. There's steps that they have to follow before they put information on the credit report. It's simple as that.
So how else do you and Karmika Rubin work together? Attorney Karmika Rubin.
Oh, she's my attorney as well.
Okay. Well, that's client privilege stuff right there. I'm not talking about all that stuff.
But primarily with Attorney Rubin, you want to say anything on that? Because I'm, mainly the credit from my perspective.
So what I would add to that is, Mr. Crowley, he deals definitely primarily with the credit repair portion of it. Where I come into play is when the person who owns that debt wants to take a different route.
Okay.
So one is given public notice, hey, this person owes me this amount of money. I want them to, I want their credit report to reflect their payment or lack thereof. But then they also have a legal remedy. And that's where I come into play if they want to take it from just reporting it on your credit to now trying to seek some form of collection through the legal system.
Interesting. Okay, so you can actually do that. I didn't realize. So there's some type of a remedy, and you're basically are you filing suit at that point against the credit bureau?
Yeah, let me chime in on that right quick from the credit angle, because as you know, on the show in the past years I've been a long time person on this show, as a matter of fact.
That's right. You and Jay, who's up next, have been the longest.
Excellent.
Yep.
So with the debts out there, let's make sure that we're dealing with the right type of debts. That's why I like to refer to the Uniform Commercial Code. Okay, let's just make a distinction between real debt and not an unreal debt. Okay, so for instance, a charge off on a person's credit report is an unreal debt. I encourage people never ever pay a collector, but don't ignore them either.
Right.
Okay. What we do is we use a validation of debt to go after collectors. Now, if the debt is with the original creditor, you still owe it as the consumer. But after 90 to 180 days, the original creditor charges the debt off. They get paid some way or the other. Karmika, you may want to chime in on that, but they get paid some way or the other. It's written off, insurance, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. But the problem is I know that both parties are released of any financial obligation to that debt once the original creditor charges it off. When the collector buys the debt, which they do it for pennies on the dollar, they come after my clients and say, hey, listen, I want you to pay this debt. So I tell my clients, if you're in my program, don't pay the debt, but don't ignore the collector.
Right.
Don't ignore them, because they can take an unreal debt and make it a real debt. They give you an option when they send out that first letter. They say it's two parts. The first part says, it's come to our attention that you owe this debt. We're representing Bank of America, Visa, whomever, and we're collecting this debt. The second part of the letter is the most important. It says, if you wish to dispute the validity thereof, you may do so within 30 days. Most clients have no idea what that means, so they throw it in the trash.
Or they just ignore it.
Just ignore it, Yep. And so what I tell people, that's what makes this illegal transaction, this sort of gray area illegal transaction, a legal transaction, because the collector's not demanding you to pay. They're giving you an option. They say pay or dispute. And what we're going to do is exercise that second option, which is disputing the validity of that debt.
Well, let's give out your credit package. We're running a little bit short on time here. So, William Crowley, he has a credit package that he offers to our listeners. It's a really cool package where he's going to be able to help you out with your credit improvement. So the credit package is going to do a couple things. It's going to cut off the junk mail coming to your mailbox. That's going to open you up to more credit theft and those types of identity theft and all that. You're going to have opportunity to learn where you get your free credit report, and it's not some of these websites are going to ask you for a credit card, etc. So let's do this. Let's text the word credit to our hotline 813-750-0550. Call or text credit to our hotline 813-750-0550. They're going to get that credit package from William Crowley. But William, I want to get a final thought from you, and then I want to get a final thought from Attorney Rubin.
Okay. Well, on this credit part of that package, we're going to put in there a promotional block. Everybody should have a promotional block on their credit report, whether your credit is good or bad.
Yeah.
The phone number, can I give the phone number out on the air? It's 888-567-8688. 888-567-8688. And for the millennials, they don't like to do the calling. They'll do the www.prescreenoptout.com.
Nice.
Prescreenoptout.com. So put a promotional block on any Social Security number, anybody that you know. Make sure everybody's on that list.
That's good advice. All right, Attorney Rubin, to you, final thoughts, parting words of wisdom.
Okay, one, listen to Mr. Crowley. Whatever he has instructed you to do in the program, you have to actually complete it, because I've dealt with some people and I'm like, well, where is the documentation? Where is the certified copy that you actually mailed it out? So just follow through with that. And then lastly, if I can just give a quick shout out, we are doing Zoominars every fourth Thursday of each month. So just follow us on the website or Facebook page.
Awesome. Zoominars. I like that.
Zoominars.
You want to give those addresses out?
And the website is rubinslaw.com, RUBINS law.com if you want to sign up for the webinar or contact Attorney Karmika Rubin, the law offices of KB Rubin, PA, directly. All right, good stuff. Thanks so much. So we heard from the credit magician. Up next, we've got the Snoop Dogg. It's Jay Smith, Snoop Inspections in the house. We're going to talk about home inspections, the real estate market, what's happening when you peel back the onion a little bit, those layers of the onion, what happens in these home inspections and how the real estate market is affected with that. Plus, our feel-good story of the day, Good Samaritan jumps into bay to save 2-year-old after a car crash on a bridge. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is Diane Vance with Fairway Independent Mortgage, a member of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Please give me a call for any of your mortgage needs. We do all sorts of loans. If you would like information on a mortgage, you can text me or call me at 727-647-8199. I will take care of all your mortgage needs. Go to my website at dianevance.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man, Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the Real Estate Quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. We are in a low inventory market, so any of our listeners are homeowners and would like a free comparable market analysis or a 2.5% listing, we will honor this for the first 3 listeners who call or text in 813-773-1253. Free CMA and a 2.5% real estate listing at 813-773-1253. Check out consumerqb.com. Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. Every day we like to tell you something good in our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
Okay, so you got a Good Samaritan jumps into Bay Bridge to save 2-year-old after car crash on a bridge. So witness to a crash in Maryland says that the person jumped in to rescue a 2-year-old girl who had been ejected into the water while in her car seat. So, wow, what a wicked picture if you're watching our TV show version on Apple, Amazon, Roku, YouTube. The incident took place on Sunday along the Route 90 bridge in Ocean City and left 8 people injured, among them a toddler who had been ejected from a silver pickup truck into the bay. The Good Samaritan immediately jumped over the guardrail into the bay, rescuing the infant. Eyewitness Tricia Roberts captured the hero, who asked to remain anonymous on film. The man can be seen cradling the child in his arms while swimming in the bay before handing her over to someone on a private boat. The child is in stable condition at Johns Hopkins Hospital, and the other 7 injured are expected to recover. So, wow, Good Samaritan jumps in the water and saves a person. Pretty cool. All right, Jay Smith, Snoop Inspections, back in the house. And how you been, bud?
It's been a long time.
Yeah, man. Been out in the field, been too busy, I guess, right?
Too busy, and of course, our fun stuff that we had last year kind of changes things. So.
Yeah, exactly. The fake pandemic we had, the lockdown. But, it was interesting. Before the show, we were kind of asking you about, some of the changes. Talk to me about what you were saying before the break there, because it was, interesting. Multifamily is really a hot spot in real estate investing. People love to buy multifamily. There's so many apartments you can rent out. You can have some good cash income coming in. And you were doing a lot of inspections on those pre-COVID, and then post-COVID, you said it kind of changed a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, last year, the financing for multifamily kind of went away. So unless you're a cash buyer, and multifamily can be anywhere from $100,000 property to millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. I was doing 56-unit complexes, 44-unit complexes, and they were flying before COVID. And then once COVID, boy, it just all shut down. Now, I know they opened up the financing towards the end of last year, and it's gone nuts. I mean, here recently, we've done anything from just a duplex, triplex, a couple of triplexes here lately, did a 12-unit not too long ago, getting ready to do another 22-unit, 38-unit next week. So, wow. I mean, it's definitely kicked back in full blast. And I would say, like we've always had, we've got the influx of people from all over the country, whether it's California or New York or even people from Texas, that they're still, going different places. But the investors, I mean, a lot of the money that's coming in for these multifamilies now, I don't have as many of the local investors buying them as I do outside investors from other states. So that's the other part that's real interesting.
Yeah, so that's really cool. When you look at the investment opportunity, people can buy up to a 4-unit property, especially if they buy it as an owner-occupied property. They can leverage conventional money and not have to go into a commercial lending space, which helps them save on the interest rate and some of the down payment requirements, especially even a veteran. For example, a veteran can buy 100% financing up to 4 units. So think about that. You're getting in no money down, maybe some small closing cost here and there, and you're getting into a 1 to 4 unit property, renting out the other 3. Yep. You got to be making money on that.
Exactly. I mean, one of the triplexes we just did is exactly that. It's actually the first property this person is buying. Wow. And they're going to be owner occupied, so not nothing down at all, but close to nothing down, and he's getting in this property, and it's going to be income.
Yeah. And a lot of times if you work with a realtor that will do realtor rebates or seller commissions back at closing, then you can get out of pocket with virtually nothing. And the lenders are doing great jobs as well, helping veterans. We love to help our veterans with the quarter to a half point back, on closing. Any veteran that we work with, we give them that discount, whether they are buying, selling, or investing. So we're talking with Jay Smith, Snoop Inspections. And what are some of the common things that you see, Jay, and what are some of the misnomers when it comes to home inspections?
Well, I mean, the only thing you're running into now, it seems like it's a little more difficult to negotiate with the sellers because it is such a selling market when we run into insurance issues. If it's got a bad electrical panel or even a roof leak or something like that, it's like, well, I'm not doing anything. Yep. Well, now you want the buyer to do something on the property before they even own it, just so they can get insurance, so they can get the mortgage. So it's much tougher to negotiate. If I had to make any recommendations really to the real estate agents is, get out and figure out your negotiating and saying, look, this is something that has to be done. We have to fix the double tap that's in the electrical panel, or we have to do this. And, a double tap is cheap. So I don't know. I can't imagine them battling that. That's the least expensive thing to do. But then on the other part of that is getting the electrician there to fix that.
Right.
It's such a small item. The electrician's like, I'm just too busy. I can't get there. So that's the other thing you run into.
Yeah, for a small job especially.
Yep. And, you've got to be able to negotiate with these insurance companies. Let's say you go out to a house and it needs a roof. Well, just like all the other supplies, guess what? Shingles are on short supply too. I'm sure that Chuck, our good buddy from Suncoast, has probably talked about that.
Yep.
They're a big enough company that I'm sure they don't have too much trouble getting shingles, but if they're not there, they're not there.
Yeah, and you're down to the primary top 4 color choices.
Yeah, exactly.
Your basic colors, your browns, your grays, or whatever color choices you get.
Yep. Realize that, I really wanted that color. Well, if you want that color, you might be waiting a year and you might have all kinds of leaks. You got to get it done.
And there was a story, there was a story about a homeowner or a homeowners association that required a blue tile. Yeah. And they're like, we can't get a blue tile. We just can't get it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I'm glad I don't have that job.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're losing some inspections, but we're busy anyway, so it's not really that big a deal.
Yeah.
That people are waiving inspections, which, of course, I absolutely do not recommend.
Right.
As a home inspector, but they're going to end up with these problems later. I know. If we slow down again in 6 months, we're going to get callbacks from people saying, well, I didn't get an inspection. Can you come look at the house? I've owned it for 5 months and I've got all these problems.
Yeah, exactly.
That my market again will change, and we'll just be going back to houses that they already own, but now they want to get an inspection on it.
That's the one constant, right? Is change. Change is always constant.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, so when it comes to double tap, you said double tap breakers. That's where they're trying to pull power from one breaker to 2 different sources.
Yep. And the big thing is the design of the breaker. I mean, most of your breakers are designed as a one pole. It's only supposed to have 1 wire going into it. It's not designed for 2 wires to be connected to it. There are, like certain square Ds, you can put 2 wires in. So you just got to know the difference in them. And most breakers, not all, state it right on the breaker.
Oh, okay.
So you can figure out what's going on, whether it's legit or not.
And you can get insurance discounts as well if you come in and you do a wind mitigation.
Wind mitigation, especially since we're so close to the coast, is 100% of the time. I mean, you're going to get a wind mit on even condos. They're asking for them, that they're giving discounts because of the structure, whether it's a full concrete or masonry building, whatever the case may be. You can get cheaper insurance because of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an important point, for people, looking for ways to save money. So you got the wind mitigation. You got a 4-point inspection out there. That's the primary, the easiest things to do. I love to do them on the list side, just that way we understand what we're dealing with before the buyer finds out. You want to talk about a 4-point?
Yeah, I mean, the 4-point is really for information for the insurance company. It's a mini home inspection. It by no means is a full home inspection, so you can't just purchase one of these and find out about a house, but you can find out about a couple of the major issues, or the insurance issues is really what you're looking at. And the 4 points is on the roof, number 1, which insurance companies are always worried about. And then you've got your electrical system, plumbing system, and heating and air. So all of those have to be in good functioning order. Nothing crazy going on. You can't have wires hanging out of your ceilings or anything like that. And sometimes even something minor, that you took down the ceiling fan and you haven't put anything back up in its place. That's actually wires hanging out of the ceiling.
Yeah.
But there's different remedies. Either put a new fixture in, or there's covers that you can buy for those that can take care of it.
Yep, just make sure you cap the wire, pop it back in there, and put the plate over it.
Exactly.
Simple fixes.
And
Jay Smith,
and everyone's happy.
Yeah, exactly. Make the house look presentable. Make sure you get that 4-point. You're going to be able to save a lot of headaches and hassle in the meantime, and it's going to fly through underwriting. That's the key.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you want to avoid, as a seller, you want to avoid that second round of negotiation that happens most often if there's not an upfront look at the home. And you've done several for us over the years where it's like, hey, these are a couple things you might want to take a look at. And then the homeowner, I can go back to the homeowner and say, hey, this is great. You can use your handyman, or you can do it yourself, versus, an insured business that's going to charge a lot more. It's going to be, by the way, they're going to be booked out 2 or 3 weeks at this time nowadays.
Yeah, 3 weeks
or more,
5 weeks, 10 weeks, somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Best place to reach is a-snoop.com. Got the website a-snoop.com.
That's us.
All right, good deal. All right, longtime friend of the program. I was telling William earlier, you and William, I think, are the longest two contributors on the program now. Long time been partners.
Right behind each other.
Yeah, man. Doing good stuff. All right. Hey, another great show. I want to thank all of our expert contributors. We want to thank you for tuning in, and we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. We'll see you next time right here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.